Happy New Year, everybody. It's January 1st, 2023. I hope everybody had a safe night last night, a good night last night. I was in bed just before midnight. I wasn't at a party or anything. Just stayed home and went to sleep. Watched some Star Trek Discovery on Paramount Plus. That's basically it. So nothing exciting for me. But today I wanted to kind of talk about servant leadership. Now, there are a lot of traits and characteristics of a servant leader. And I feel that I don't check off exactly everything that a servant leader is. Definitely more of a transformational or inspirational leader. But when you're a servant leader, you should be putting the needs of your team first. You should be trying to amplify them, trying to congratulate them, trying to help them build their brand, help lift them up. When you see a good servant leader, they're only known really because their team is awesome. It's like, oh, that team, Art led that team. That's amazing. You shouldn't be trying to build your own distinctive you if you're the leader and you're trying to do servant leadership. You're not trying to take credit for yourself. So, first of all, let's share credit with the team. You may make an amazing decision as a servant leader, but when you take credit for it, make sure the whole team gets credit. Make sure it's not, I thought of this awesome thing, and I've done this before, so I know exactly. And right after I do it, I'm like, don't say, I came up with this great idea, our team is going to execute it, etc. Just be like, our team came up with this great idea, we're going to do this. Think about you as a part of the team. Now, another part of being a servant leader is really breaking down boundaries for your team. In a lot of ways, I think of what a Scrum Master is supposed to do. So when you're doing agile project management and agile, development, or really any kind of project, if you're applying Scrum to it, you are using a person on the team called a Scrum Master, who is really, wow, this is oppressive, son, today. I apologize for the weird shadow. The Scrum Master is not supposed to be the one doing the coding or all the work on the project. The Scrum Master's job is really supposed to interface with the product owner, indicate kind of barriers and stoppages you guys have. And their job is really to enable collaboration and help build the team and help tear down boundaries and walls and blockages and enable them to succeed. Make sure everybody has what they need. Make sure everybody knows what they need to know. Make sure everybody has the materials, access, etc. that they need. The Scrum Master is that enablement leader. You can use that in any area, in any kind of company, in any division, any team. It's really, you are trying to be a servant leader, enabling your team. It's not just pushing down commands to the team, it's asking the team, okay, team, what do you need? What do you need that you're not getting? Are you clear on what your tasks are? If not, what needs to be different? What can I explain to you? Do you need some outside resources from another team, etc.? And is really doing what you can to lift that team up. A servant leader is also going to try to organize things so that the team is successful. So when a servant leader is leading a team, they are thinking about each person in that team and what that person needs and what their strengths and weaknesses are. And really any leader is going to do this, but a servant leader isn't trying to be at the top of that. It's what can the team do to succeed? Or what can I do to really level up the the potential of our entire team? And it's even at your own detriment. It's in the religious sense, it's the Jesus washing your feet type thing. Think about that regarding your team. What does your team need? They need somebody to run out and get coffee. They need somebody to make sure that this material keeps coming as fast as they need it. They need someone to make sure that, the sales team's off their back, etc. You as the servant leader are filling that role, or filling that spot. Anyway, there's a lot more room for servant leadership in every company. Too often we take our cues of how to be a leader off of authoritative leaders, or, where they're kind of authoritarian, or transformational and inspirational leaders. And inspirational and transformational leaders are great. When you need to make a big splash or big change in a company, we are the ones to do it. We're the ones to go in, get everybody, hyped up, and everybody moving in the same direction. But let's say you need to build reliable, high-performing team. It's not necessarily the best approach to use a inspirational or transformational leader. Inspirational leader, you're kind of in trouble if that leader goes away. Your succession plan either has to plan for maturing your organization into a point where it doesn't need an inspirational leader anymore, and can go into more of a servant leadership model, or you need another inspirational leader. If you're a transformational leader, you're usually coming in to turn a company around. The company either was just acquired, is about to be acquired, is about to go bankrupt, is post-breach, just had some bad incident happen, bad PR, just had a BP oil rig type disaster, or a big cyber breach, and you're coming in to clean it up and transform it. You're taking this company and moving it forward. And it may not be after an incident or a disaster. It may just be this company is stuck in the 80s and you need to digitize it. You need to do some digital transformation work and change management in order to really level up how it's running as an organization. And that transformational leader can help make that happen. Sometimes it's not just leveling it up time-wise. It's you're used to a leader who's $1 million a year leader, and you need a leader who's $100 million a year leader. And your team is used to performing at the $1 million a year line. That transformational leader can shake things up and get people to change their habits and ways of doing things. But a servant leader isn't necessarily for the status quo. It's still for growth. If a company's not growing, it's dying. So I'd consider no leader is good for a status quo. But a servant leader is really to enable the team to succeed. The assumption is you have smart people that are skilled and good at what they do, and all you're doing is holding the ship together, man. You're not, trying to build some new vision. You're carrying the vision from the top level of the organization to the team. But you have a group of good people that they just need to be organized and need somebody to help break down the barriers for them. You already have performers or people that can be performers on the team that you're wanting to work with and make them better. All right, well, Happy New Year's. As you're growing, start researching servant leadership. This might be the year for you to start thinking of how to use servant leadership in what you do. Try some of it out, wherever you are, in whatever team. whether you're in a leadership role or not. If you put yourself in that position, it's going to happen that your team is going to respect you. You're the one who's doing stuff for them. You're not making a big deal out of it. You're not taking on extra work necessarily. You are doing what you can to enable them to succeed. And people appreciate that. You know, you're not just doing it to make yourself succeed. You're doing it to make the rest of them succeed. All right, have a good year, everybody.